Ladies and gentlemen, Two Dudes Talk Music in conjunction with E. Brown Industries and Big Jerry Burger brings to you everybody's new favourite game show, Get in the Bin. Now, let's go to our host, Reverend Raph and the beer buddy, Kyle. Welcome back to the Two Dudes Talk Music YouTube channel. I am the Reverend Raph here with my good friend Kyle and our new mates Sean and Jordan from Headstone Villains. Continuing on from our podcast episode earlier this week and the quick question quarter yesterday, we are now going to be asking these gentlemen if they had phenomenal cosmic powers and could snap their fingers to eliminate or fix things in the music business, what would they be and why? Without further ado, gentlemen, whoever wants to go first, we will get 3 from each of you. What would you change about or eliminate from the music business and why?
Do you want me to take this one first? Or
yeah, you can go first, dude.
Bit of a thing. Is elite, I don't know the word, elitism?
You took the first one straight from me.
No, it's so nice to see that so many bands agree on that shit.
Yep.
Yeah, like it's everyone. The way I see it is like musicians are playing music because it's stuff they love.
Yeah.
It's not a competition. It's not, put your measuring stick away, put your dicks away. Like it's not, we don't need to be out here. Basically, touching on that whole territory war thing that we talked about earlier. Like there's no need for that shit, man. Like it's. Bands put on shows, and what makes the shows work, unless obviously you got one band playing for 3 hours or something, is other bands on the lineup. You have a band playing for an hour. What are you going to do for the other 2 hours? Get other bands on. So it's like when people start becoming elitist about it, and it's like, well, okay, it's cool to like this band and not like this band, but what if these two bands wanted to play together? Are you going to be the one person going to this gig going, trying to boycott this band because they're playing with, whatever. Like it's not a pissing contest. Like we all love music because it hits us in some kind of way, whether it's emotionally, whether it's sort of helps us through trauma and shit. Like doesn't matter what it is, whatever might be the individual.
I think that's where it kind of stems from. Like you can't have like some people, they identify and they associate with music and bands as a part of their identity. So it becomes personal to them. So when someone says something and they disagree with it, then they have to almost defend their own position on it, which, you can't sit there, like Jordan just said, you can't sit there and just like measure dicks against every other music fan that likes the same stuff as you. You probably like it for different reasons, but it's definitely one of those things. Luckily, I don't think you see it so much now with newer bands that come out. Definitely, it's like, it's like movies and stuff. Like, who's the biggest Star Wars fan? Who likes Metallica more? You know what I mean? Like,
are you Star Wars or Star Trek?
We actually have an in-running joke where it's just like if someone says something just dumb as shit, we'll be like, "Man, I love Star Trek." Like, yeah.
That's a good one. I like that. But yeah, you're right. You're right. Like elitism, gatekeeper sort of mindset. Look, we all went through our teenage years, right, where we thought that we had to be the stalwart defenders of metal or whatever, and we couldn't,
Yeah.
But you fucking grow up.
And so you grow out of that
and you realize,
shit.
and if you've still got that fucking teenager mentality of.
It's all fake to my face.
And look, I completely get it if you just want to turn around and go, this is the type of metal I like, I only want to stick to this. Don't shit on everyone else for fucking say it's not metal or it's not heavy or whatever. Like, like something can be heavy and
party for it.
Well, I literally, had, and look, I realized my mistake of getting into a, disagreement with anyone on Facebook, right? I realized the futility of that. But the Knotfest lineup from earlier this year, like people going, "Oh, it's not heavy. It's not heavy." I'm like, mate, you got a lineup that opens with King Parrot and closes with Pantera. Like you're gonna how the fuck are you gonna tell me that lineup's not heavy?
Yeah. King Parrot guys go hard.
I'm sorry.
Dude, and big shout out to Todd for cutting your dreads, man. Like,
much
dude, you've
love
done
to
that
Todd.
shit for charity, dude.
$5,000 they raised. $5,000.
Wow.
So yeah,
I don't get it. Like,
I only want to ask him one question. How does your neck feel?
Yeah. Yeah. How does his neck feel now when he's up there?
It'd be so liberating. There's nothing worse than wet dreadlocks, man.
Yeah. Well, I just had long hair when I was younger, and I remember when I cut the ponytail off for one go, the thing was down past my shoulders, and I had thick ass hair. Now I'm bald.
Yeah, look, how good was having.
Yeah, it was awesome. But as soon as I got it cut, I'll never forget it. My head got cut, the hair got cut, and I just went like this.
Yeah.
Because all of them, like, my head just went forward. Like, I'm like, I had to learn how to pull my head back again.
Yeah, for sure. So, but yeah, all right, cool. Number one is gate elitism can fuck off.
Yep.
What's next?
I don't know. The second one, I wish more people got involved in heavy music in terms of like they don't even need to be involved in band stuff. And by this, what I mean is like one of our biggest problems is finding someone, say like a videographer or like someone that can do like really good photos or something like that. They sort of have an image for themselves because they're into the similar kind of interests that we might be into. So it's like rather than just going to some complete random person that might take wedding photos and say, hey, can you do some band shots for us? And they come out looking, I don't know, a little too polished or a little bit too clean or something like that. Yeah. And there is multiple ways of being involved in the whole heavy music scene without just playing an instrument. You know what I mean? So, yeah, if I could choose one, it would probably be if a lot more people sort of jumped onto it, and it has become a bit more mainstream now. And it's a lot more exposed to a wider audience of people, you know, like even you're looking at like a great example is like, say, for instance, like Falling in Reverse is one of their newer songs where they have Tech9 come into it. Yeah. A lot of people listen to that song that might come from the hip hop background and the rap background that now have started listening to that band.
Yeah.
It's just brought in a whole different waves of people. So like and it goes back to that networking thing. Melting pot, sorry, we should say.
Yeah, melting pot.
The potential for things to stem out of heavy music is potentially limitless. So it's like, it would be cool to see a lot more people jumping on board with it. It'd make our jobs easier being like a theatrical band because we'd be able to have contact with people from a lot more different places and stuff like that if we could get that stuff out there. Yeah, definitely I'd say more people being involved in heavy music.
Well, the thing is as well, I mean, I've done a band that I was in, you know, for a couple of years after I moved up to Brisbane. We did a photo shoot, and it was a professional photo shoot at a professional photo shoot studio because like I threw my details in a thing and I won like some discount off the shoot. So I'm like, all right, cool. Can I use this as a band photo shoot? They were like, yeah, no worries. Like, it's not normally our thing, but if you guys, you know, tell us what you want, we'll work for it. And so, you know, we went down there to the studio and the photographer that was there, you know, she hadn't really shot bands before, but we just went in and had fun with it. And after the fact, she's like, that was so easy. She's like, that was so much fun. That was like just such a good time. Like we just had fun with it, got a bit silly, like went in with, you know, oh, okay, so this is our music, this is what we do. So like, let's try and keep the vibes on a similar wavelength. And, you know, so like the thing is, I think a lot of people that might do that sort of work, they don't realize how much fun it can be.
Oh, definitely
getting in on that stuff. They you know, and and once they've done it, they're like, their eyes are open.
So one of our songs that we've got a music video for at Black Magic, we literally filmed that whole thing in the back of Tom's shed. But it's all, you know, spend half a day doing some kind of like decorating a few props here and there and lighting. A lot of it comes down to sort of like the editing process and everything like that afterward, which is very time consuming. Jordan pretty much did a majority of that himself. So big tops to Jordan.
Work. Long tedious.
Yeah, it can be done. You just got to apply yourself into it, you know, and you do find that it is actually really fun and kind of a lot easier than what you think it might be in order to actually pull something like that off.
Yeah. I could not agree more. That's exactly how I got myself back into the music scene. I stopped playing in bands 10 years ago.
Yep.
I have not, like the last time I picked up a mic was with a couple of friends at a show at Rammer down in Camden probably 4 or 5 months ago.
Yeah.
I wanted back in.
Yep.
Now I do exactly what you said before. I go to shows, I film bands, and I make them Instagram clips from the shows.
Oh, yeah.
That is literally what I try and do if a band asks me to come out and do it. I just spent last night doing that. I'm making a full video, and I said, and the weirdest thing is exactly what you said is exactly what I said last night. Just because you do not play in a band does not mean you cannot be involved in the industry in some way, shape, or form. I started off my whole channel on my fucking mobile phone, and it wasn't even this one. It was 2 generations ago. These things shoot good enough.
Yeah.
Once
2024, the world's at your fingertips.
Mate, that's it. Once all my shots started coming out the same and I started to find too much consistency and nothing was coming out different, I decided to expand on my craft.
Yeah. Well, we did Kyle, that song that we reacted to by The Warning not long ago.
That was on an iPhone.
Sick. They filmed the whole film clip on it. So this has got millions and millions of views. And this whole thing was shot on iPhone.
And, I worked at, all they did? They just shot that white balance through the roof and contrasted the fuck out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the lines came out looking like a comic book or whatever it was. Yeah. As soon as I saw that comment come up, I went, how did they do that?
Yeah. And that's it. Like you've got access to so much technology these days that, as if you've got a halfway modern phone, you can film all of this stuff yourself. You can do it. You can get involved. You can get in the game. Like Kyle and I literally were like, hey, we got a couple of webcams and some microphones. Let's just talk to bands.
And it expanded from there. The webcams have gotten
where we're
better.
at now. Where we're at now. Like, we're covering, Metal to the Max. We've got that fucking one reaction video that we did that's got like something like 125,000 views at this point.
We've gotten to speak to Waylon Reeves. We got to speak to I can't remember his name now, from England.
Neil Kay.
Neil Kay.
Yep.
Yeah, there's no excuse anymore in the weirdest sense of a way. It's like,
shoot your shot. Do it.
Sometimes DIY is the best way to go sometimes,
It is. And not to bullshit anyone out there now, be smart about it. There are AI editors.
Yeah.
There's ways
all you need to do is get the shots and run it through the AI editor, and they're your shots. The AI's just got to do all the fucking editing.
And don't rely solely on it, but use it as a tool to help you out.
Exactly. Fix your
That's how they
videos
take over the world. Don't rely on AI for everything. They'll take over the world.
I, for one, welcome our new robot overlords.
Yeah. Look, at the end of the day, the AI only works if you have a good shot.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, it's only I've used it. If all you have are shit shots, it comes out shit. It takes a lot of time and effort to get those shots.
Yeah. It's GIGO, garbage in, garbage out.
Yeah. What a music. Like, if you send a producer like a shit track, it's going to come out shit no matter what they do to it. Like,
that's it. There's a YouTube channel that I follow that does like all studio stuff, and his motto that he has for his shit, I've stolen it and use it on my shit all the time. It's get it right at the source. Get it right at the source. You get the best quality stuff you can, the best stuff that you can as early as you can in the chain, and you keep that quality going. It's much, if instead of pushing shit uphill, you're working with something good from the start and helps you out. We got a little sidetrack there, but what's number 3?
I'd probably say industry standards.
Ooh.
I'd say this is probably more out of metal, probably more in the mainstream, but just more, I think the perception that say record labels and all that sort of shit, this sort of perception that what artists need to be like to accommodate to the work. You've got so much of the same sounding shit on the radio these days. Like, it's you flick the radio on at 10 in the morning and then flick it on at bloody 10 at night, and you're basically going to hear the same song.
Oh, it's just right off a fucking playlist, isn't it?
Literally,
yeah. Glorified playlist.
Like, and you know that behind that there's a lot of like, do this, do that, but you can't do this and can't do that sort of thing. All their contracts and all that shit that they end up in. And it's like, to hear about the extremities of some of those like just bigger artists and all that stuff. And it's like, well, it kind of makes you wonder whether the artist is in it because they want to be in it, or whether at that point they're basically contractually obligated. For me personally, don't think I could ever put myself in a position where I have to be doing music because someone tells me to, because someone's made me sign a dotted line and says you have to do this and that. I think if I never got to that point, I'd first of all tell them to go fuck themselves. But like, secondly, I don't think I could really give up. I don't think I can turn a passion into an obligation of thoughts. Where it's going to drive me away.
Well, the funny thing is, it sort of sits in the same realm of what we do here. You know, like we can quite easily go on here, and they YouTube tell you, here are the rules in order to get the best demographic, the best this, the best that. If you reach all these benchmarks and you play by our rules, you will get the best outlook, the best opportunity, and you will sit in that algorithm fucking perfectly.
Yeah. Basically, if you combine to what we want you to do, then you'll make it. Like, nah, man, like
that's not metal.
It's really not.
Well, that's it. It's like, you know, to get since we passed 1,000 subscribers and you know, what is it, like 4,000 watch hours for the year or something? They're like, right, cool, you can monetize your videos now. Awesome, no worries. But they're like, we got some. We turned it on for everything, and some of our older stuff, especially, is under conditional monetization because there's so much Jeffing all throughout the videos that like certain sponsors don't want to go on videos that have like that kind of swearing and everything in them and whatever. And it's like, all right, cool, like couldn't give a fuck. Like we're not doing it to get money out of. We're not doing it to get money out of it. Like, yes, it'd be nice to be able to have it be self-sustaining in terms of, you know, the financial investment being covered, but
it's like it's the restrictions on everything too. Like, for example, what's that music video by Cattle Decapitation? I think it's forced gender reassignment or something. It got banned on YouTube when it first came out because it was just too graphic and violent and all that. And it's like, yeah, okay, like I understand sort of like maybe putting a restriction on it because of how violent it is, but it's like this is a death metal band. Like
it's in the name.
Going to be it literally is in the name. Like decapitation is in the fucking name. So to ban a music video on YouTube completely, mind you, like at the start, it wasn't even on the site.
I think with when it's something like
graphic content.
YouTube where like kids can so readily access something like that, it does raise a question of, okay, do they where do they have the line on that stuff, right? And that's why I've seen that's why, you know, some bands have just gone and instead of putting it on YouTube, or they've put like a censored version on YouTube and gone, hey, the uncensored version's over here on Pornhub or some shit. Like, because you know,
when you upload videos to be like, hey, this isn't for kids. So like, you'd think if they're giving you the option to keep it away from the kids, they'd make it harder to search up. But then, you know, you've got all these videos that people are throwing like.
All that means
is down to the parents.
All that means
aren't watching enough.
All that means is it included in the YouTube Kids part? Yeah, that's literally all that means, you know. But I mean, and it's difficult because, you know, how do you get into, you know, I guess not policing that sort of stuff, but how do you get into like monitoring that kind of stuff without requiring users to provide proof of ID and proof of age, and then that's a whole other dangerous territory that you're getting into. So it gets really tricky.
I don't buy any of that bullshit. Parents can fucking put the locks on there, go on YouTube, learn how to fucking use them. You can put all the locks on there so your kids don't watch that shit. There's zero excuse in this day and age.
You can,
unless your kids work out the passwords.
But how many times do, like, okay, when I was a kid growing up, like I knew my parents, you know, when we first got the internet, they tried putting a parental lock on there for certain stuff, and it was immediately like, you know, and I think that was on there for about 2 weeks, and then mum, who was a nurse, needed to search some stuff and it wouldn't let her search it. And so she's called me and gone, how do I turn this off? She's called me into the room and gone, look, how do I turn this off? We're going to get rid of it.
Oh, man.
Like, so...
It's like Jurassic Park, man. Life will find a way. As soon as you put something like that on things, people figure out loopholes and ways around things.
Well, you even have a look at it now. People are complaining about ad blockers on YouTube because, like, YouTube now are just about to get rid of all ad blockers. And to be fair to anyone that uses an ad blocker, I really don't give a fuck if you're upset about it because, most of these people on YouTube make their content for free. The least you can do is sit through a fucking shitty 30-second ad on the first one and just skip the second one. It's fucking 2 clicks.
Yeah.
Agreed, but the problem comes when YouTube starts pushing like really long, unskippable ads in the middle of stuff. Like, you know,
bro, why do you reckon we got off Twitch? That's why we got off Twitch.
There does have to be a middle ground, but all right. Anyway,
3 minutes.
There you go. That was some good options there, boys. So what did we have? We had elitism, we had industry standards, and
more exposure to outside music.
Well, more exposure and helping supporting the scene and stuff without necessarily having to play in the band and stuff. So that's some good options there, right? Well, thank you so much to Jordan and Sean from Headstone Villains for joining us this week. We've done a whole bunch of talking with these guys. You can catch them at Metal to the Max. That is taking place on the October long weekend. Links are in the description. We're going to have links to all their socials so you can go and check out all their music. Check out Headstone Villains. Go and check out Metal to the Max. I have been Raph. He has been Kyle. You guys have been amazing, and we'll catch you guys next time. Peace out.
Peace.
Thank you very much for watching today's video. We really hope you had a good time with us. If you did, consider hitting the like and subscribe buttons down there and ring that bell so you get notified of all the videos we've got coming out. And we do also have a Patreon. If you're interested, you can head on over there. You can get all the videos early and ad-free. So, a little bit of a benefit. It's only a couple of bucks a month. But if not, thank you very much for watching anyway, and we'll catch you guys next time.